This entrepreneur's not messing around. He's helping himself to £3 million a year of revenue, selling burger wraps and takeaway packaging. He's a seriously impressive entrepreneur, one of the best we've ever had on the show. You're going to love this conversation. Hello campers, welcome back to Business Broadcast. I'm James Sinclair and you are?
James Burt. Very glad to be here as well.
Yeah, I'm very glad to be here. I am just so in love with what we're doing here.
It's good fun, isn't it?
Because we're genuinely changing people's lives. And the variety that we get on, it never ceases to amaze me how lucky we are. It's a pinch yourself moment. The last episode, I don't know if you listened, someone building a skincare brand, £500 a month in the startup phase. Fast forward to this episode, we've got someone doing millions in revenue every single year, £300,000 a month selling food packaging with bags of ambition. And I just said to you, we had a pre-chat as we do with all of our guests, that the chap, Sharab, that's coming on to chat to us today, you can just tell he's got it.
Yeah.
He knows his onions.
What is it about someone where straight away you go, yeah, they've got it?
I think experience helps. He's been at this for nearly a decade now. I'm sure every year that you go on, you learn stuff, don't you?
Yeah.
But some people just do have elements.
Something, haven't they?
Something
you can't. Something intangible.
I mean, I was asking him some stuff about his numbers and blah, blah. He just knew them inside and out.
Oh my God!
Down.
What's your average order value? That's I mean, that will come up maybe a little bit later on.
And regular listeners of this here podcast know that we rate our entrepreneurs at the end. And I'm guessing for commercial awareness, he's already got a 1.
Yes, I think that is fair to say.
And if you don't know what we're talking about, stick around to the end to find out what it's all about.
You are getting very good at this. You're becoming like a Radio 2 presenter.
I'm going to ask. I've got a couple of questions that I want to ask him. I know he's coming on to get advice from us and ask us questions, but I want to know, how did he get his first customer? Do you know, when I started this pod before you was born, actually, I was doing this podcast, and that was people's favourite thing that I ever did. How did you get your first customer? And I nearly done it for every episode, and I forgot about it. And I think we should be bringing that back.
Yes,
because I think it's a genuinely fascinating answer that we get from that.
Do you know what? It's also interesting is sometimes you get so busy and so far removed from the thing that initially got you the result, and you don't do it anymore.
And that's why we need to ask it, because it proves the point.
Yes.
It's like a rhetorical question.
So like with you talk about this with Teddytastic, like when you were first starting out,
Absolutely.
You were giving no seller return, you were giving free stock away to people. Yeah. Do you do that sort of stuff now?
Yeah. If someone, but not as much, because you get fat and lazy, don't you?
Yeah.
That's what happens.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to ask you, how many questions does he have? Because one of the things I keep talking about, especially on my newsletter, is customer concentration and how dangerous that can be, especially in a business like PrimaPack, because he doesn't really sell direct. He sells food service stuff, burger wraps, burger packaging, takeaway packaging, but doesn't sell it direct to the shops. He sells it to the food service companies that then distribute it. And
300 grand's worth of burger wrapping
a month.
That's a
month. So this is a 3 million plus business, and his average order value, do you remember what it was?
£5,611.
5,166.
Oh,
close.
My 6s and my 1s are all back to front. But this goes back to the previous episode, right? And if it goes out in order that we've recorded it, which it most likely will have, like the skincare company before, I think when you're getting started, you think you need to do something glitzy or glamorous or something. That business that he was starting, the previous episode, was so difficult to get up and running. You probably need £1 million in runway. You probably need quite a lot of acumen to get up and running, and you probably need a few people in that sector who can open a few doors for you.
Yeah.
Fast forward to this episode, and there's a guy selling burger wraps making £3 million.
Yeah.
There's really, really good ways to make money in business without it having to be the glitzy, glamorous stuff that you necessarily think that it is.
Yeah, I mean, this is a love, want and need business. It's a food service, but people will always want to put food in packaging.
Yeah.
That's going to be around forever.
Yeah. AI has not taken that job, is it?
No. And I asked him, this is how good he is on his numbers, because, I asked that in the pre-chat. And he said something, and I thought, well, this chap knows what he's doing. I said, what's your EBITDA? And he said, 14%, make about 10% net profit, but that is diminishing as we grow. And I thought, he's an entrepreneur in the know. Yeah. He knows how to play the game, because he knows, like I know, you grow your turnover, your profit gets smaller in terms of percentage terms. It might get bigger in terms of volume of turnover, but, That's definitely the case. When you're a small business, you keep most of what you make, and as you grow, there's middle management, there's turnover taxes, there's more overheads, there's more red tape, and it just gets eaten up, and he knows the game.
It does indeed. So the business we were talking about, by the way, is called Primapack Limited.
Tell us all about it.
They have been going for 8 years. Estimated monthly revenue is now £290,000 every single month. They've got 10 team members, but they've got some challenges, as all businesses have. Challenge number 1, cash flow. Challenge number 2, scaling in... Did I just say challenge? Did I?
Making up his own language.
Challenge. The challenge number 2 is scaling in the right direction. Do you know what I was thinking in my own mind as well? I was going, I'm really enunciating very well today. Then I fluffed it. Challenge number 2 is scaling.
You bought this trendy teenager's t-shirt.
Shut up. I walked in. Whatever. Challenge number 2, scaling in the right direction. Challenge number 3, implementing a management team. Where do you want to be in 1 year's time? On the path to majority stake sale of the business. Oh, okay. I can see what he's doing.
I'd buy it.
Sean, absolute masterful move. How do you go and find your ideal buyer? You go on their podcast.
Yeah.
You go on their podcast. How long have you been listening? Oh, I love the podcast. It's really brilliant. Oh, yeah, my EBITDA. He sales pitched you the whole time. This is so good. So where do you want to be in 1 year's time? He wants to be business partners with James Sinclair buying his company. What does the business look like when it's finished? Owned by James Sinclair, and he just skipped off into the sunset. Do you make the profit you want to make? No, but I bet James Sinclair will. Done. Come on, Shahab. What a start to a podcast.
Do you know why I was laughing earlier? I was taking the mick out of his stupid teenager's t-shirt. I can't even come dressed as a 9-year-old. And do you know what? I've just ordered you. I've ordered you some Pokemon cards. That's what I was going to say. I was going to get Ben to buy a pack and just give them to you. Oh, that was funny.
Where does he actually want to be? He wants to be in 1 year's time on the path to a majority stake sale of the company. Fine. What does the business look like when it's finished? The largest paper packaging manufacturer by volume in the UK. Do you make the profit that you want to make? If so, what is it? He says, no, we just make more for our growth targets. How do you spend your day-to-day time in the business? He does sales, business management activities, and strategy in that order. And then he's got a bunch of questions that he would like to ask you as well. But before...
I'm just saying, I have actually thought about buying a packaging company because I'm doing so much of it.
Shall we rip up the script of this podcast today? And he has to do you a pitch. And you listen to it and see if you want to buy it.
I'm definitely going to meet up with him for sure and understand if we can do some work together.
So good, isn't it? But before all that happens, we've got to have a little bit of this.
Interesting quote of fact.
Which no one's interested in right now.
Interesting quote of fact. It's time for the interesting quote of fact of the week.
That's right. Regular listeners will know this is time for interesting quote or fact of the week. The point of the show where we do a pointless section about facts or quotes or information. Everyone's just sitting there on the edge of the seat going, come on, Sharp, you can do this.
I'm fact. What are you?
I'm going to be fact as well.
2 facts?
2 facts.
There we go.
Go on, you go first. Age before beauty.
Well, I might do a fact and a quote then because...
Oh, here we go.
I think we should always put a quote in.
Adding more rules in that, I didn't know
I don't like this fact. I don't like this fact I'm about to share with you.
Okay.
It's not good.
It's not a good fact.
No, more businesses went bust in the year ended July 25 than the 2008 crash here in the UK.
Really?
Not good, is it?
What was the number? Do you know?
No, I don't know the number. But
more that went bust than in the crash, which was the big...
So the year end to July 25.
Yeah.
More went bust in that period than in 2008, the same period, July to July 2008. I don't like it. There is a serious struggle amongst businesses here in the UK at the moment. Cash flow tightening pressure, high interest rates, inflation, people giving up.
So does that sort of ties back into Shahab's inadvertent sales pitch he's going to give to you in a minute, but does that make you even more focused on love, want and need businesses, which you talk about all the time? Because these are not, like they say, this is not going out of fashion. Like the chip shops still need their chip paper. The takeaway still need their takeaway trays.
Yeah, I think what happens is where does the cash go that causes tightening, because cash doesn't disappear, or the money doesn't disappear. There's always the same amount of money in the world. In an economic tightening, it goes in different people's pockets, maybe the government's pockets.
Yeah.
Or people that have got cash hold it in their bank account because of scarcity, and they're worried, and so they don't go and spend and put cash into the economy.
Yeah.
It's probably a mixture of all those things. You know,
Some
there's
more
lots
essential
of
stuff.
That's why what me and you do is why we should have MBEs and OBEs and knighthoods, because I think we are keeping the global economy, not just the UK economy, going for people that find it tough. I mean, I joke, I jest.
I think your MBE is more of a shoe in the mind.
No, but I do think, you know, when I write the letter, you know, we have a good time here. You know, we enjoy doing this. I hope we genuinely give people actionable stuff that they can take away. But when I write the letter, it's just me and my words and my thoughts and my silence. And I can't help but, you know, to write. I find it, I can't do the comedy as much as I do on YouTube, and as much as we do here on The Conversation. I'm finding myself writing quite deep stuff.
Yeah, it's got quite deep. But interesting.
But that is true.
You're writing from that perspective, but I think this is one of the subconscious powers of doing the writing, is that it makes you think better.
Yes.
It makes you a deeper thinker.
Yes.
And you might even, stuff that you would potentially react to in a certain way, when you have to put that thought, that pen to paper or digitally, it just makes you not only think differently, but it makes you justify the thinking, which I think makes you a better operator, doesn't it?
The thing about people going bust is usually there is always a solution. There is a way. It might not be the things that you like doing, and so people give up.
Yeah,
and that's I think. Look, I wrote in my James Sinclair newsletter, I think letter 18, the reasons why people give up. They're stopped trading. So trading a thing in Ukraine right now, or during World War II, would have been very difficult, and the government might have stopped you from trading. But if the government stopped you from trading, I don't think that is your fault. I mean, you might be able to pivot out, but to a degree.
There's not really a lot you can do about it.
Yeah. Number 2, customer concentration causes people to go bust, where you've got one big customer that overnight says, we don't want to work with you. So that's why we always say no more than 10% of your revenue from any one customer organisation, for example. And then number 3, and the big one, is people go, this is too tough, I'm out, which I think is the biggest one.
Yeah.
And that's what I think we're here for.
I think we're going to see more of it as well. I was listening to a podcast the other day about the number of businesses shutting down in the US, and I think it'll probably track very similarly over here, that because you've got so many boomers now coming to retirement age, because they haven't built like you talk about, a profitable entity that works without you in it, and they haven't maybe got like lineage, i.e. family, to pass it down to, they're just shutting these things. There's no one who wants to buy this thing, so they just, like I say, it's just too tough. So they just shut it down. But then that's going to mean
you should be selling it rather than shutting.
Yeah, communities and
closing it is much more expensive than people realise.
Yeah.
It's better to give it away for free than just close a business.
Yeah, for sure. I've also got so you've given us a fact. I'll give us a quote.
No, give a fact, because I've got a quote as well.
I haven't got. I think I've just deleted. How do you get your notes back on your phone?
Shaking it. What's shaking it work?
3 fingers. Tap undo. I can't do it. I've got nothing. No, go on. Yeah, give us
I'll do 2 this way. I mean, I'll do everything. I actually got sent this. So on, I think, newsletter episode 17, I wrote quotes to live by. And someone sent
this podcast become just an upsell for your newsletter now?
What, an upsell for something else that's free? What a salesman I am. You can get the newsletter for free. But no, I mean, I write things in the newsletter that I think are relevant to the free newsletter with the free podcast.
On the free YouTube channel.
On the free YouTube channel.
You're really pushing for that MBE, aren't you, today?
No, someone said, I asked readers of the newsletter to send me your favourite quotes to live by.
Oh, did you?
I got some classics back. But this one I love, and talking about, you got a team. And you've got a hole in your team, and you need to fill that hole, and you panic employ, and you get someone with the right skill set. Now, this happens a lot in hospitality and leisure. You've got a restaurant, and the chef leaves, You need a chef, or that restaurant's going to be very difficult to operate without said chef. And so you panic employ and you put the person with the skill set and they got the wrong attitude. And someone sent me this thing and they said, a hole is better than an arsehole. There we go. And that's quote or fact of the week, all from James Sinclair, because James Burke couldn't be bothered.
Oh, there you go.
Interesting quote or fact. Interesting quote or fact. Interesting quote or fact. It's time for the interesting quote or fact of the week.
People love that segment, don't they?
That's very good. Yeah, they do. On YouTube, they're mad for it. They're mad for it on YouTube. Right, should we get Shahab on and talk about his fantastic business?
Let's do it. Hey gang, we're going back to the pod in just a moment, but I wanted to tell you about Entrepreneurs University. This is a platform that I've created for entrepreneurs and business owners that are serious about growth. There's 100 video lessons from me on everything in business, raising finance, buying companies, property investment, and everything in between. Attached to each video is a downloadable PDF that goes into more detail about what we've learned in the video. It goes one step further than that because I've also put stuff that you won't get anywhere else onto Entrepreneurs University. The lessons go into way more detail, but not just that. You're going to get my business plans, my spreadsheets, and all the files that I use to drive the KPIs in my business. Just think about how powerful that could be for your business. And here's the good news. You can try Entrepreneurs University for free. 14-day free trial. After that, it will cost you just $49.99 a month. That's less than a pair of Nikes to grow the profitability in your business. There's a link in the video description, and I cannot wait to see you in Entrepreneurs University.
Shahab, how the devil are you, sir? Are you there? He is there.
Hello.
He's unmuted. He's there. Oh, keeping us on tenterhooks. Thank you for being here, my friend. So obviously you and Jimbo have had a bit of a pre-chat chat. I know that you're warming him up to buy your business, which I think is going to be a lovely listener experience.
Was you laughing at that, Job, when you were saying all that?
No, I wasn't laughing at it.
No, he's ready.
No, he was looking at his bank balance.
He's ready for it. He's ready for it. He's just double checking his numbers. That's what he's doing. Give us a quick summary of the business in your own words, my friend, so that the listener and the watcher understands sort of who you are and what you're doing and what the company's all about.
Sure. So the business is called Partyman Pack Limited. We're a manufacturer of paper packaging, whereby we produce bags and sheeted products, and we also distribute and sell other wares for the food wholesale market, for food service and distribution companies, so containers, lids, and other bespoke type packaging. We try to keep it as sustainable as we can, so we only produce paper-based goods or anything that we can properly recycle. So we don't do any plastics, and we try to stick to that as best we can. But yeah, as well as the producer, we do provide total packaging solutions, whereby if you buy a bag, you're probably going to need a container, you're probably going to need some cups. So we try to bundle that best together and provide the best value we can for the UK market at the minute.
How did you get into this sector and this space? Because this is a niche and a niche and a niche. How have you ended up here, my friend?
So I had family members who a distribution in food service, selling food, and in conversations understood a bit more about what they did and worked out that actually packaging is something that they made a decent amount of margin and money on versus some of the food products that they were selling. And then looked into
and it never goes off.
Some of that. Yeah, and it never goes off, non-perishable, which was always helpful. So yeah, we looked into it and found a place in 2016. Registered it and actually middle of 2016 we found a small unit, got a guillotine in, and we started sheeting papers, just plain greaseproof paper that would line boxes and other things.
I love stuff like this. I love stuff like this.
So my question to you, how you got your first customer, I'm guessing family members were your first customer, were they?
Yeah.
And I think
so they gave us a chance on it, and it still screwed me down on the price for sure, but it was getting it out into the market. So they gave us first. We'll sell this.
Can you remember getting your first cup? What the value of your first order was?
It was about probably 800 quid for the first pallet that went out, something like that, or less.
That first sale's
Wasn't a
magic
lot.
though, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's just magic.
Lovely thing. And then, so did you make any money in year one, or was it horrific?
No, not really. It wasn't horrific, but we barely broke even, if that.
Did you think about giving up in the early years?
Oh yeah. I thought about giving up many times. Mainly when we started to do the bags, I bought a bag machine I found in Serbia, and I thought, great, it's cheap, it get us going, got it in, and the back wasn't going as fast as the front was, and it was just spitting stuff out. And I spent 3 weeks sat there with a laptop connected and had to locate the main PLC encoder guy who couldn't speak English. So I was doing it by TeamViewer and Google Translate. And then 4 weeks later, it got running. And then 2 months later, it completely died. So I was like, oh my God. Then I bought another one. I thought, let's keep going.
How much is a bag making machine, the newer? What the first one was how much, and how much was the one that you should have bought in the first place?
That one at that time was probably £18,000.
Well, the one you bought from Serbia.
Yeah, from Serbia, which was really scrap. But a new one today, you're looking at a good one between 300 and £1 million, and the best are about 1.2.
I just
So when you picked one up for 18 grand, you knew you were going to get it back.
18 grand. I was threw the dice on that one.
I think that's what I want to, listeners to really understand, that a bag making machine is 300 to 1.5 million pounds, and that has to be depreciated, doesn't it, over all the millions of bags that you sell. And I listen with love with what you've just told me, because I have this with ice cream machines. I've got millions of pounds worth of ice cream making machines. Do you know what? All three of them broke last week with three different reasons.
Oh no.
Boom, 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 boom. In comes the engineer, and these engineers, I'm sure, like Sharp, on these sort of machines, they are rare and protected forms of leverage in terms of what they charge. And an ice cream engineering person, there's not a million of them. There's like 12 in the UK, and they are always
Print your own invoice.
Yeah. So can I come and have a look at that? It's
basically
every bill was 1,500 quid.
Yeah.
It always is. And they just know the part that you need, and the things go wrong all the time because they're moving, aren't they, all the time, and you got some, I was about to say, some person that does something stupid, and I'm sure you know all this, Shahab. Yeah, wow. So how much have you got in terms of machines just sitting in the factory?
we've got 6 and 1 coming. That's been refurbished, and then we've got another one in order. So we'll have, hopefully by the end of the year, we'll have 9.
And they're all, what, 300, 400 grand each?
8, sorry.
8.
Not all of them. The new, so we've taken a kind of a view over the next few years to either refurbish or swap out older machinery for brand new model ones. So we've got, about 3 out of the 7 we've started to do that with now.
And is it in a food service clean environment, not like a because you must have that to challenge with, don't you?
Yes, no. It's all food service clean, food contact grade paper, food contact grade inks, and the staffing, health and safety. This goes on, as you know.
Yeah, because I was just thinking, people are listening, he's just printing and packaging, but as soon as you say you're doing it for food, it's a different ballgame. It's not like the local LIFO printer that, can have Bob with his shirt off, disgustingness warehouse. But this needs to be on point, doesn't it, all the time?
Yes.
Yeah.
Agree.
So how many customers do you have?
We have around 58, 60 customers, regular customers.
This is what I wanted to get to for listeners. This is a big business, 58, 60 customers. And I don't know if you listened to me talk about this on the pod, and I used to do this a lot more when I was doing it on my own before you, JB, about just 10 more customers can literally game change a business. And it's such a, it's not the big elephant that you think it is. Actually, it's just a little baby elephant to eat, which sounds horrible, doesn't it? But if you could just get 10 more good customers, it becomes a good business to a great business very quickly, doesn't it?
Absolutely. I mean, we if I get some of our, if you look at our top 20 customers, if I had 10 more of those, we really charge on. So you're right in that we've got some great customers, and if we could replicate that 10 times, then we're in the money.
Okay, let's crack on with the challenges. So challenge number 1 is cash flow. Why is cash flow a challenge? People not paying you on time?
Well, no one pays on time. Well, you see, we from where we buy raw materials, across the world, including Europe and the Far East. So with some we have terms, and others we're paying basically paying up front. And our customers, large wholesalers and the like, as you well know, they demand terms. They are not going to even look at you if you can't give at least 30 days to begin with, and some on 60. So that plus the outlay on getting a new machine or starting a new product line, it just, you tie up a lot of cash in those few areas of the business, and therefore retaining cash, and therefore to grow again and grow hard and fast is difficult to do. I mean, we're growing year on year, but it's you can't jump.
Well, my friend, I'm going to sing you a little song now. Welcome to my world. I mean, you just really described an entrepreneur there in your space. I think there's a couple of things you can do. Are you buying those machines completely outright, are you?
No. Asset finance.
And who do you use for your asset finance?
We use a broker. We use a broker for those, and that's usually in the second tier of banks and lenders.
Well, I'll introduce
your Brooks, your Aldermalls.
Yeah, so they are the most expensive. I will introduce you to a very senior person at Lombard, which is part of the NatWest Group, and she's pretty much the decision maker. I just quickly, are you making more than 250,000 EBITDA a year?
Yes.
Yeah, so that's fine.
This year, for sure.
Yeah, so I will, and you're producing management accounts each month?
Yes.
Yep, I will introduce you to a wonderful lady in Lombard, London, who is just fantastic. And I have a revolving facility. So as I pay it down, I can draw it back up. I think it's £1 million ours or 750. So I can, and it's literally bank loan rates rather than asset finance rates.
That'd be really appreciated. I think we have gone down, with my high street bank. We bank with Barclays, but
see, Barclays are useless.
Just so slow.
Yeah. Barclays are not. So no, I shouldn't say Barclays are useless because they come and speak at the funding panel or business masters. What they are not good at is asset finance.
Yeah.
They are not good at that. Whereas, for example, HSBC are really good at trade finance if you're importing stuff around the world because they're in every bloody country in the world. They are absolutely fantastic at that, but I don't think HSBC are that great at asset finance. Whereas NatWest own Lombard, and Lombard is brilliant at asset finance. And I think if you've got... Are your 58, 60 customers, are any of them... What's the quality of your customer? Have you got any in that 58, 60 that are FTSE 500? Have you got any that are north of 100 million turnover?
Yeah, we have a few that are north of 100 million, but obviously...
Yeah, don't say their names.
Listed. No.
But they've got good covenants. Listed. They've been around for a long time. Yeah, that's good. I mean,
we have to, all our customers are insured and limits are reflected by that.
Yeah, I mean, I'll introduce you to, and I'll also introduce you to my finance broker that knows all the banks because, I think you should go and talk to HSBC. I think you should do a sort of a beauty parade that we call it in banking, where you go and talk to 7 different banks, say, look, this is who we are. I'm under horrific cash flow pressures because I've got to buy all these machines. Look at the quality of my customers. Look how much we're growing. Give me a facility that helps me out here. I want £1 million lease finance facility that I pay off over 5 years. So as my machines break, I can just replace them and I can go up and down like an overdraft facility, but on asset finance. You can get that through someone like Lombard. So you don't have to go to these second tier lenders, slash that interest bill probably by 30-40%, because tier 2 lenders like your Shawbrooks and Aldermore that have a place, absolutely they have a place, but they are horrifically expensive in my experience. So I will do that for you.
Thank you.
All in the hope that my packaging price will be as close to zero as possible.
Here it is.
Okay. Right, what was challenge number 2?
Challenge number 2 is scaling in the right direction. What do you mean by that?
I think as a UK producer, we compete with the likes of China. We compete with Turkey and India, and people like buying from UK manufacturers more and more now. I've found that they will pay a little bit extra, not a lot extra, but knowing that they have the flexibility and the know-how that's not far away from them as much as they probably used to. Obviously, with container times increasing,
I was about to say all
outlay, it's helping us, which is great. But also, that mix between what we make and what we distribute is a part of it. We thought about one day moving into packaging for the likes of Amazon, sealable envelopes. There's so many areas that we can focus on. But yeah, it's just having that mix. Do I want to bring down what we make from 70 to 50, and 50% we keep on the distribution channels? It's just where to point in, I suppose.
Sorry, how much?
Didn't give you much there.
No. How much more expensive are you than China?
Door to door, probably around about 7 to 8%.
Yeah, I think people would swallow expensive. That because they're having to order less from you, aren't they? So that's less warehouse space for them.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And the thing is, when they're ordering direct from China, they won't get any payment terms, will they? They'll be paying it all out. Unless they've got a facility in place. Okay, so I don't think you need to tell us where to scan in the right direction. I think you sound like a smart chap. It's just probably you're a little bit, this is going really well, and you just need to. I think the thought process there is make sure you have a good thinking space that's not around the noise of the business. Once a year, get yourself booked into a hotel around nature and take a notebook and do some quality thinking with no one there to annoy you. You have a whole day of really good thinking that you think about the direction for your business, and hardly anyone does that, and the people that do that are the winners.
Yeah, I haven't done much of that. Rather
than stealing 10 minutes here and 10 minutes there, and we're always in the mixed, but actually thinking about the direction that we want to go. Really good thinking time. There's a brilliant documentary on Netflix that I mention all the time here on the pod called Inside Bill's Brain, which is all about Bill Gates. This guy does Think Week. He does a whole week a year, and he always has done, with no distractions. He goes into this little shack where there's no technology and he just thinks. Success leaves clues. And I think everyone that's starting to build a business of your size should be thinking about that. And then number 3, implementing a management team, which is really interesting because you said, and James, when you was reading out the thing that you want to build this business to sell, if you don't have a management team, the value diminishes greatly.
Mm-hmm.
The management team turns it from a profitable job, profitable business, and a management team turns it from those 2 points into a profitable investment that people will pay a premium for.
Yeah. When you talk about implementing, what would you mean? Where are you at with that at the moment? Because obviously you're a team that's doing sort of good numbers. There's only 10 of you. So what does your management sort of structure look like at the moment?
Well, we've got obviously an ops director. We've got a part-time FD, which we're trying to sort out something more permanent on that side, because it's just business commands it now. And we have, I suppose, general admin, PA type person, and then the rest are warehouse floor staff, so supervisors and machine operators, print setters, and packing and distribution.
Could you go away from the business for 6 months and it all run without you now, or does it definitely need you still?
Not 6 months, no. It definitely needs me still. Mainly around the sales engine.
Yeah, but that's okay. But the ops director, is that person literally like if a machine breaks, they deal with it? If there's a delay on packaging, they deal with it, or are you dealing that sort of stuff too?
No, if machines break, we've got a machine technician on the floor who sets machines, fixes them, break down. And, from the beginning, we actually had to know how some of these machines work. If we didn't know, and like we said, £1,500 a day for an engineer, they'd come around, we've learned what they've done, and I'll never call them again, because it just was, if I'd done that 3-4 times a month back then, we'd be done. We'd be over. So we've organically grown the knowledge in the staff to understand these machines, and none of these guys who we have here had any prior experience to running these machines.
Yeah.
Looking at that management hierarchy, then what do you think is?
I mean, the thing is, at £3 million, this is what I would expect to see. An ops director, part-time FD. I think you're making the right moves to get that person full-time. I think that would be brilliant for you, because all of the chasing of debt and looking for R&D tax credits, if there's any grants, technology grants, all of that stuff, they can be doing all of that. Winning all your tender work. If you're tendering for any big companies, for any big food services company, get your FD doing that. Get all of that over to them. I think having them full-time will release so much stress and pressure on you. They will deal with all your bank relations. If they can get them interest payments and all the lease machinery down by 1.5%, they're paying for themselves time and time again. I think they become a good conciliary as well to the business owner. Not that I want to talk about it as mafia families, but I do think that someone that really knows numbers ins and out, it's really reassuring to have that in your armory on tap to help you. And then this ops, I mean, this is good. A good BDM probably would be the next, or our business development manager, that is in all these food services companies, that can go to events, can go to all the trade shows, walk around and build networking and opportunities. The thing is, they're an investment, because they might take 6 months before they start becoming really profitable. And you might make mistakes on this, kiss a few frogs till you find your prince. You might get someone that's just a cost and they don't actually bring anything to the table, which is hugely frustrating and happened to me many times. But you can't think that everyone's like that, and if you do find someone good, it's brilliant, but listen, look, I think you're a very good entrepreneur, and I think you are going to absolutely have it off, but I think just keep in mind, you just need 10 more customers, because I think what people do is tempted to do Google PPC, they're tempted to do trade shows, but you just need 10, don't you? And that's such a, if you can just say, right, every month we're going to try and get a new big customer, and how are we going to get them? What calls do we have to make? What doors do we have to knock on? How many journeys and meetings do we have to do? And I've certainly, had that approach in some of my businesses. I think, I sit on both sides of the scale. Marsh Farm needs 250,000, 300,000 individual customers a year. Rossi, like you, 10 good customers is a game changer for our food services business, and I think you've got that covered there. Why do you want to sell it? What is that? Because you listen me saying it? I mean, I know we're joking about me buying it, but why is the desire to sell it now?
I mean, I think it's, I do listen to you and thinking about the efficiencies of selling and getting that first payday, but also for the future, what I may want to do. I probably would love to stay within packaging because I think it's such a great industry and there's a lot of scalability in it. But, if I get that, I suppose, first good, first success, as you say, it's a testament to that's been done, and I can do this all over again in another guise, I think, and
that's
do it even more
smart.
efficiently and make money quicker.
What I loved that you put down, that you just wanted to sell majority stake. Why would you want to keep a little bit in? That's interesting. That not many people say that. You put on the path to a majority stake sale of the business. Some people say minority. Well, a lot of people say minority. You said a majority. Talk me through that.
I mean, it's having a tie back to the business, and I hope what we leave is going to, because I mentioned the scalability where it could go. A big American buyer or someone else who could come in and funnel lots of cash in after getting it to 10 million. I think the sky's the limit really on it, and I'd hate to miss out on some of that, because I can see it happening. Quite easy, because we can count on two hands how many manufacturers are in the UK.
I love that you've said that. That's exactly how I think. That's exactly how I feel. You are super impressive, and I love the fact, if I was buying your business, you saying that to me or to a potential buyer means that you still really believe in it, and that is the best time to sell a business, because you're like, I want to stay involved because I believe so much in it, and I'm prepared to leave some cash in the business in terms of percentage. That's very reassuring for a buyer, especially in the private equity and venture capital world.
Yeah, agree.
Cool. Well, questions for me, I think, is it, JB?
Yeah, there was a couple of questions that we had. So, question number one, and I'll read them out just in case you can't remember them, Shahab, because I appreciate you might have applied to be on the show a little while back. So, does my business position command adequate leveraging for growth, or should PE/VC, so private equity or venture capital, be my route to major scaling?
I don't think you need PE/VC money. Why do you?
A bit of Jimbo Sinclair cash, didn't you?
I think you need a proper banking relationship. VC. What you're already over the 2 million mark. That's the real hard mountain to climb. I don't think you need VC. You might want to sell to them one day. Absolutely, you might want to sell to them. And take a minority stake in their growth to help them, or you want to sell to a good-looking Essex entrepreneur.
Subliminal.
Hopefully I can sell to him first.
I think you've done that, mate. Sitting watching the body language, and watching on YouTube, he is sold. He's smitten.
The reason you wouldn't want to sell to me, though, is because I would want a deal, and and you want to sell to someone like a VC or a private equity that will pay. I don't know do you know what multiples you get in this industry?
The G10 and 11.
Do you? Wow.
Well, that's our research. The FD, we kind of went through it, and between 10 and 11 for manufacturing.
I mean that I'm not sure that is I mean, in childcare, the sector I'm in it's now 6 and 7s, sometimes 5.5s. That's impressive. So I mean, cool. Keep going then. Third one is marketing B2B for manufacturers optimal. Well, look, I think I alluded to it. I think you need to just write a list of your 10 dream customers and work out how you get in front of them. I don't think you need to do any mass marketing, because you need just 10 of them.
Yeah, it's just kind of doing much more of the same. I kind of thought of it.
You see, you've got to do relationship marketing, like i.e. go and build proper face-to-face connections to win in that world, because you only need 10.
Absolutely, yeah.
Just remember that. Like,
that's how we've grown.
Yeah, I only need 10 more customers to make this amazing. That's all I need. I don't need to be...
It changes everything, doesn't it?
All the noise. Oh, let's go and do a trade show and meet 1,000 tyre kickers in a weekend. No, all the noise just disappears because you just need 10 people. And you just got to work out who they are. That's the writing a list of who they are. And you probably do know that. Get them on a flip chart, buy a flip chart in the office, invest in 50 quid in a flip chart and a flip chart pen and paper, and you just write
them down.
And these are our 10 people that if we had these, oh my God, we'd be making so much money. The police would be knocking on our door thinking we're selling drugs. And so that's...
James, you're good at this. I mean, there is two or three come to mind, and two, I had them, it was warm. We had email exchanges and we came up to see them. Then it just went completely cold. And ever since, we're trying to get through the door again. It's just...
Well, what did you, when you went and saw them, you actually had a face-to-face?
It was a very brief face-to-face. I think he had Coca-Cola coming to see them, and it was just the wrong day to have met up because I was in the area. Once I saw him, he's like, listen, I've got to go. Let's arrange another meeting. And then, I don't know, you never know what's going on. And
if you had got that person, would it have absolutely changed the game for you?
It would have been 2 out of that 10 that I need.
And how much would that have customer have been worth to you a year, do you think?
A year, I'd say they could easily get to about 35 a month.
Right. So I would have gone in there and said, look, here's a brand new iPad with, there's all pictures on here of everything that we make in our business, all the stuff that we make. This iPad is for you as a gift. You don't have to buy it from us. But I just want you to keep it. I haven't got a printed brochure, so I'd like to give you this brand new iPad. It costs you £1,000 to do something like that. Yeah, that's going to make them stop and think. Now, let's put it another way. You would be prepared, or most people in your business would be prepared to go to the NEC at an exhibition and spend, like I do, 30 grand to put on a big exhibition stand and pay for hotels. Actually, a well thought out gift like that, especially if you do some research, if they like a particular football team and you really research what it is they love and that particular person, say, look, take this, just think of me because I'd love to work with you, and this is how much we care about our customers. We've gone out of our way. Something like that is how you win in that game.
Yeah, it's got to be tried now.
So I'll tell you something we did for a zoo. We sent them, one of their lions died, and we sent every single one of their staff a pot of Rossi ice cream to say, look, you're really sad one of your lions died. Hopefully this helps put a smile on your face. It cost us like £700. And they, I know when that tender comes around, they're going to be thinking of us because we done that.
That's a good idea. Out of the box. We just need to.
Do you know we had someone, didn't we, JB, on the last podcast? They've started a skincare brand. They spent 1,100 quid on Google ads and got best part of NAFL, and people are so easy to do stuff like that. But if this person, that you know who they are, and they're going to give you £400,000 a year, £1,000 on a gift.
Yeah,
it's nothing.
Can really change the game, and they'll never forget you. That's the thing. Even if it's a no this time round, in 3 years' time or 2 years' time when that tender comes up, they're like, do you remember that guy?
They go somewhere else to a different company.
Yeah.
The reputation spreads, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's such a good point that you made. Look at this. It'd be so easy to just spend 1,000 quid on Meta. You've done it today. You've done it this morning.
Yeah.
Haven't even thought about it.
So this, not that he needs another bloody shout out, but this is a Mont Blanc pen that I'm holding up here, Sham, if you're watching this back on YouTube when it comes out. And this is a gift from Daniel Priestley. He came and spoke at my event. And then a week later, a Mont Blanc pen arrives for me. And here I am, mention his bloody name, and I think about him often every time I use this pen.
Yeah. Clever, isn't it?
Brilliant.
There we go. This is a podcast that over time will probably get 500,000 listens and views. And Daniel Precy has just got 500,000 mentions because he's sent a nice gift. And
For £100 pen.
I wish it was 100. I think it's 500 quid this.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you should give him another shout out. Tell everyone to go to scorecard for that sort of dough.
There you go.
Just before you guys split off, because it's been lovely listening to this subconscious back and forth of a seller and a buyer. The actual EBITDA multiple for the packaging sector is currently 8.7, which is higher than the historic average of 8.6. It is down from 2023, at which point at some stage, 2021, sorry, it got up to between 10.2 and 11, but it has come down significantly, just a little bit. So not to throw sand on the fire, but about eights, guys, is a good,
which is great. There's not many sectors that do that. So, yeah, really good.
When are you guys going to meet up then?
Yeah, I might actually. Do you know what, Sham? I might actually talk to Chuds about putting you in one of my day of the lives on the main channel. I mean, because that will get and just a little walk around to talk about your business, because I think, you know, our audience will be really interested. They'd love seeing things being made. That's how we make this and stuff. We will line that up. I'll get Ben to talk to Tracy and Chuds about sorting that out. As producer Ben, who's joining us here today. There we go. Any questions you'd like to ask me before we dash off?
No, I think the last question I had, marketing B2B for manufacturers, I mean, we've gone over it, but we're just revamping our very boring, I think, website. And it's really,
thank
it was
God. I didn't want to say it.
I know you were already thinking it, so I preempted it. But we're going through that now as a quite decent project that we want to get this looking a lot better. But
why? Can I just say, I know JB's saying this, but why? You only need 10 more customers. Why spend loads of time on it? 60 people order from you a month. I can't just go
where we are. I just think it needs to be a bit smarter. That's it. I don't think we need to do loads of bells and whistles on it. But
no one can. It's just a website as a directory page, isn't it? Because you only got 60 customers. Yeah. You're not going to allow people just to order packaging from you direct, like a little
through the website. No,
that's never going to happen. No.
I mean, you can inquire for something, but no, it's just.
So you get whatever, loads of hours, loads of time into building this website. What do you hope is going to be the outcome of that? Everyone go, oh, this website's a bit nicer. I'm just putting it out there. Is that the aim?
Yeah, it's a bit of, you know, speak to us now, open up the channels of how you can communicate to us, because we do get a better website than that.
No, I get,
but we need to.
But I'm just trying, just playing devil's avocado here. We're going to do all this work, make all this website nicer, do all the work. That completes on a Tuesday. And we all gather around the inbox on a Wednesday and go, wow, look at all this money that's coming. No.
Yeah.
But it can warm people up ahead. It can warm people up ahead of
they just want their packaging warm. I'm telling you, in this space, you know, I don't.
If your website guy Dom could hear you speaking now, he'd be turning in his grave.
Because that's direct. When it's direct to consumer, this stuff becomes very important.
But you don't think that would make a difference?
Probably not. No.
Really?
No, because he only needs 10 more customers.
Yeah, but as someone who buys, so let's say, for example, you've heard this conversation.
Subconsciously, I go on that and I go, oh, I can't see the prices. This is because they're the manufacturer. They're not bothered about lots of little sales. All my signals are going, this is someone that is actually doing the stuff for real. I've got to contact them.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that honestly, you're not just justifying your position here?
I just don't.
There's an ice cream valley in the background, which is a nice touch.
Yeah, I don't think. I hope it's a Rossi ice cream valley. I think go and do it. I mean, if you really want to, but I don't think it's going to change the game.
That would not. You would not. So you'll land on that page, and you get good buying signals from that because I do think there's the lack of brand.
Yeah, in a way, I look at that and I think, well, the logo looks Because when
this is really interesting.
Yeah, because I think it's really important if you're direct to consumer, but because he only is going to have 70 customers to change his world.
Yeah.
Because that's what we've discussed here.
Yeah.
Maybe 100 one day, maybe 150 one day. I think it's more about relationships than him doing all the work on the website to make it amazing, which is a nice to have in this situation. It's not like Moët or Louis Vuitton or Estee Lauder or ASOS or Party Pieces, my director. That's really important. My wholesale website for Teddytastic that generates millions of pounds is horrific.
Really?
I mean, we made it better, but what's better is having a business development manager and customer service,
but what about
price and getting the stuff on time, getting it quickly. There are, delivery schedules. Are you going to deliver when you say you're going to deliver? They're all the things that matter.
But how many people don't fill in the contact form because of a website like that, do you think? And
maybe if you're having a new kitchen built at your house, then it becomes very important. If you're buying burger wraps,
you are the ideal client.
Yeah, I would contact them.
Would you? Land there and you still contact?
Yeah, I don't think it's terrible.
I don't. By the way. I'm not sorry, Sharp. I'm not slagging this off. By the way, I'm just saying. But I'm really, really intrigued because as a B2C.
Shall I tell you what I'd rather you do, Shab? Is I'd rather you send 1,000 letters out to people that are in this space that could be your ideal customer.
But what about when they open the letter and they go there?
And then they'll go there and go, this looks like a professional company. I mean, it's not horrific, is it?
No, it's not. But no, okay, fine. Okay.
I'm going to chuck $1,000 at it. It's not going to be big money.
Okay.
I mean, because you can never be able to buy from the website, can you? Because everything's bespoke. It's a conversation.
Yeah, no. I mean, if we were to do B2C, that would be a whole different business, and it would be, we'd gear it up to.
It would be B2B, but B2BC, if you like. If we was creating a hybrid, not quite food service, but it'd be like the takeaway that wants to order direct from you. Yeah. Yeah. Then agreed. At that stage, it becomes very important.
Yeah, design your own bag, upload your artwork, and just get it done that way.
At that stage, it's all about Shopify, blah, blah, blah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. The leads we get through the site are very small customers.
Yeah.
Sometimes you get shops coming through there. None of our largest customers have come through the contact us page.
So where have they come from? The largest
phone directly to the. They've been from knocking on doors, me going out to sell, like relationships or inbound calls.
This is where you say James
old
Sinclair,
school getting on the road.
Yeah, he's only saying that because he wants you to buy him.
No, it's the same with Teddytastic. No, it is the same with Teddytastic. All of our, it's really important that when you only need 70 customers, you got to do the right thing. And, as you say, go and knock on the doors. And even it's just all this here, what James, he said, this is not good viewing for YouTube because we're now discussing one of my businesses. But there we go. You're amazing, mate. You're amazing. I think you're going to go very far. I can't wait to rate you at the end. But I think we're going to have to say goodbye now.
We are. Sharp, thank you very much for being on the podcast.
I look forward to our solicitors talking to each other. Sorry. I look forward to meeting them.
That's what it's going down. It's power play.
What was that? What did you say?
Yeah, just before you go, anyone contacting your buying department will be great. Love to speak to them.
Yeah, I will.
We do something
Ben, if you could email Rob and actually copy me in and Janky, and we will get that lined up. Ben's going to send you an email.
Listen to an M&A strategy live here today. This is so good.
There we go. I'm James Sinclair, and that's the child over there.
Thanks, Shahab. Thank you for being on the podcast. Really appreciate it.
He's great.
Thanks so much, guys.
Take care, mate. Thank you for being on. Brilliant.
See ya. Bye-bye.
What an interesting business, doing 3 million quid of burger wraps and chip paper and that kind of stuff. It just goes to show there is money and opportunity everywhere. It doesn't have to be the big shiny stuff.
Is it a difficult or easy difficult business?
That's easy difficult, isn't it?
Absolutely.
That is an easy difficult business.
And what I'm doing is making this man great.
Yes. Isn't it just?
Maybe we should add that as a segment to each show as well.
What? Improve the Burke.
No. Easy, difficult.
Polish the Pratt.
We've got. No, I mean, easy, difficult. We should. And we've got so many segments to this show now.
Oh my God, we cannot have any more segments to this show. We've got.
No, but if we remember, easy, difficult. Shall we do the Price is Right or grading first?
What would you like to do first?
You decide.
Let's do the grading.
Let's do the grading. Okay, let's grade this amazing entrepreneur who's graced your ears with the 8 traits of great entrepreneur.
What is the 8 traits of the great Jimbo Sinclair? Tell us.
8 traits of the great. Number 1 is starting with the end in mind. Well, Shahab gets that, doesn't he?
He does. He knows who he wants to buy him, and he goes on his podcast.
Passionate about their cause.
Oh yeah, he loves a bit of packaging.
Untold amounts of resilience. Yeah, no. He said all that. Buying the machine, it broke from Serbia. Kept going. Yeah, I'm giving him that.
What did he think? What did he think was going to happen? By the way, 18
I'll tell you what happened there.
300,000, doesn't?
Yeah,
that is great though.
But we all do them mistakes. Buy cheap, buy twice. But if you haven't got the cash, you try it, don't you? And sometimes you get lucky. They master relationships with people.
Yeah. Oh, I reckon so. He knows how to talk to an investor, that's for sure.
I'm telling you, he's getting if I could give him 2, I'd give him 2, but I can only give him 1. Commercial awareness. He was good on his numbers.
He was very good.
I might not have come in the chat here on the podcast, but on the pre-chat chat, the man knew his stuff. They innovate so they don't evaporate. Yeah, he's doing that.
He is.
He's buying all the machines. He wants it to be,
Guys, I see what's going to happen here.
Master
6 out of 8 so far.
No, he's not a master marketeer.
Coming from the guy who's just spent the last 5 minutes justifying his website.
I know he's a master marketeer.
Okay, fine. Be like that. I guess you've got to have some wiggle room for your negotiation.
They stay teach one curious.
He definitely is that. Come on, what's he got?
He's got 7.
Bloody 7 out of 8.
That is so rare. That is probably the second highest we've ever had.
It is. For those fans back in the day who loved the whiteboard thing, we couldn't do it. It didn't come out on camera. Sorry about that. Soz. Yeah, that is the second. I think we've had a couple of 7s. We've had 1 8, a couple of 7s, but literally like 2 or 3, if that.
If he got really good at marketing, he'd be unstoppable.
Imagine if he sold a majority stake in his company to someone who knew about marketing. Imagine the possibilities.
Well,
you can have a little look at that.
I will have a look at that. It's certainly as I'm buying a big food service.
I was about to say, this all folds into the existing empire. Perfectly.
It's textbook good for us, gang.
It's good for everybody. It's good for content as well. Imagine that live. We've seen love blossom live on the podcast. I know what you're thinking. Oh, we finished? No, we're not finished because you keep adding more stuff to this flipping podcast.
But people like. Well, hopefully they will like this because we haven't seen it in the comments if they like. It's now time for The Price is Right. Higher or lower?
Higher or lower. Last week, if you are watching in real time, you'll remember that so far there's 100% success rate to me. Because we've already done this once.
Should we get the trophies lined up? Let's put them in the middle. I lost on the last episode.
You did.
We'll explain to viewers, listeners, how this works. Inside here, my team.
Look at this.
And I promise you, I don't know anything. Considering I lost last week, I think that is evidence enough. My team choose a random thing.
Essential business fact.
So last week was...
How many billionaires are there in the world?
And you got that. You said 1,700. There was actually 2,700 and I chose nearly 500. So I was wrong.
Yes.
I actually know about millionaires, actually. How many millionaires do you think there are in America?
Don't try and twist it.
Okay. Well, people want to know now.
Loads.
How many do you think?
Oh, I think it's over 1 million, isn't it? 1.5 million?
15 million American millionaires.
15?
Yeah, in a country of 350 million people.
So it's 0.5% of millionaires. Wow.
So that was last week's.
That was last week's, those guys.
And I think you opened it last week. So shall I open it this week?
I think you should. Come on in.
So we've got a wax seal here. Look at the detail.
It's very nice.
For our audio listeners.
So organised. Bottom left corner, number 2.
Number 2.
It's not his first radio, is it?
Okay.
Here we go. Hit me.
And so inside here is the answer. We've got a picture here. We're looking at it.
So good.
We're looking at a cruise ship here. How much does it cost to build Royal Caribbean's Icon of the Seas?
This
Ben,
is
just
good.
Give me some context. Is this their newest cruise ship? So Royal Caribbean build massive big cruise ships.
Yeah. And how much did it cost to build their latest one, which is called the
I think we
Icon
should
of
write
Six.
this down because I think we will influence each other's decision. I'm going to write it down.
Okay.
Okay, I've got a
Okay.
number. What's your number?
I've gone for £107 million.
I've gone for $2 billion.
Well, you didn't tell me we were doing it in dollars. Fine, whatever.
So you've
$2
gone-
billion.
You've gone for £107 million. I've gone for $2 billion. Now, let me tell you why I think you're going to be wrong straight away because we've got some context in here.
Okay.
How much do you think a Boeing 747 is?
To buy?
Yeah.
To make?
Yeah.
I don't know. About 50.
50 million.
50 mil.
So you think that's only double?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, let's open it up. Here we go, gang. The answer.
Shut up! He knew! No, I'm not having it.
I promise you.
This is...
Oh dear. Oh.
You called it in dollars. Shit. This is a conversation you've had in the office, isn't it?
No. I've done some research on cruise ships because I remember it was $1.2 billion to build the Virgin one. You know, Virgin.
Okay.
Or something. I've been what?
So that's £800 million more than the Virgin one.
Yeah, dollars more.
Wow, okay.
But it's a lot bigger. It's like double the size.
Fine.
Mate, these are massive. These things.
I've never been on one. Did you go on a cruise thing?
Yeah, I've been on
Like a
Royal
Disney
Caribbean. I've been on Disney Cruise. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Disney Cruise is brilliant. Royal Caribbean, probably won't do that again. It measures 1,200 feet from bow to stern. It weighs 250,000 metric tons, and it has more than 40 restaurants and bars. I think it carries 10,000 people with staff.
Really? That is insane.
There we go.
There you go.
Well, here we go. You get the wooden spoon for the loser. And James Sinclair is Oh no, I wasn't the reigning champion. I'm the new champion.
The new champion.
Thank you. I'm so happy about this. I'm glad you were so wrong.
I was very wrong there as well, wasn't I? I'm still calling that dodgy, that is. This is very good though. Everyone in the team is putting this all together. The facts there, the information, a bit of context. I mean, if you would stop feeding him the answers, that would be amazing as well.
Well, didn't feed me the answers because I won the wooden spoon last week. But now I've got my plastic trophy, which I'm very happy about.
Ironically, the spoon is better. It's a better item to own.
I was thinking that. If you're watching us here on YouTube, please subscribe to the channel. Let us know in the comments what you think about price higher or lower, and also interesting fact acquired of the week, and also our guest who was amazing today, and the grading. You know, what do you think we should add to the show?
You can't add nothing else to the show. It's a case now of taking stuff away. What would you like us to cull?
Yeah.
Eventually, there'll be no time for the guest. It'll just be James's nonsense back to back. I reckon I think this is one of our best podcasts we've done.
I loved him.
Brilliant.
It's funny that we say
Brilliant.
that, but I think, the one that we done, the episode before this, I think a lot of people will take a lot from that, although much smaller. But he'd actually gone and made something and they'd learned the toughness.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it all makes.
Let us know in the comments.
Yeah.
Like, rate this out of 10.
Yeah,
Like how much you enjoyed the conversation, not the quality of like the hosting or the nonsense of the fun and games.
Yeah, because we know that's great.
We know that's a 10 out of 10. So don't inflate our ego even further. Thank you for listening. Please feel free to rate and review and subscribe and follow wherever you're listening to the podcast. And do leave us a comment if you like this on the old YouTubes. And do us a favour as well. We always say this. Just share this with one friend. If you're an entrepreneur, business owner listening to this and go, do you know what? My mate Dave down the street, he's thinking of starting a chip paper company. Oh, Davey Chips, they call him. Forward it on to Dave. Send this on to one mate who needs this entrepreneurial goodness in their ear holes. Thank you, please.
Thank you very much for watching and listening.
Ta-da!
Bye-bye. Thanks for watching today, gang. I hope you enjoyed the show. Now, look, we're looking for some great businesses to come on the podcast. If you've got challenges, but you're desperate to grow your business and you can't necessarily work out how to do it on your own, you'll be a perfect candidate to come here on the podcast. It's absolutely free to come on the show. Go to my website, jamessinclair.net, and there's a podcast button. Click on the podcast button, fill in the application form, and we'll do our very best to get you on the show and try and grow your business. If you're loving the podcast, make sure you subscribe to the channel by clicking here. And why not give this one a watch? I think you'll like it.